Crystal Tower Information Whiskey 21530 Zulu, wind 060 at 5.
076 Mike Juliet, this is departure radar contact.
Hazardous weather information from Minnesota available on flight service frequency.
You've dialed in the Flying Midwest podcast, connecting aviators from across America's heartland, sharing news, information, and events from around the region.
Calling Nancy 53 on Oshkosh, Roger, turn left heading 070, runway 9er, clear for takeoff.
Sit back, relax, and join our crew for some hangar talk as we discuss a wide variety of regional aviation topics.
Archer 71143, flying 5, runway 28 left, clear takeoff, left hand southbound first.
And now, from our home at the Anoka County Blaine Airport, our checklist is complete, and we're ready for departure for another episode of the Flying Midwest podcast.
Contact departure, have your flight.
What is going on, everyone? Jim here with the Flying Midwest podcast. So happy you're able to join us. On this episode, we're talking all about Airventure as we prepare for Airventure 2022 with our very own Airventure Call-In Extravaganza Spectacular. We'll talk with fans and listeners of the podcast and learn what they're most looking forward to for 2022, as well as their favorite Oshkosh memories. So strap in and let's take off into this episode of the Flying Midwest podcast.
Hey guys.
Hi, Trevor. Welcome to a new episode of the Flying Midwest podcast.
Oh my gosh.
So this is a really special episode of our Oshkosh Zoom In Extravaganza Spectacular.
I'm so excited. I'm not repeating that.
You're not repeating that you're excited, or you're not repeating what I said?
I'm not repeating what you said. It's the fun episode. We're gonna have a fun episode.
Every episode is fun, Madi.
That's true. But again, in fairness, I'm not going to be able to repeat it again anyways. So that was the one take. That's all we're going to get. And that's what it's called.
Great.
I like it.
So this episode is about all of you, our fans and our listeners. We're hearing from some of you as you share your stories of what you're looking forward to at Airventure this year, as well as maybe some
previous experiences.
Yeah, as well as some previous experiences.
Fun memories and stuff we're looking forward to.
That's right.
Now, because this episode is all about our fans and their experiences going to Oshkosh, we're kind of limiting the news and events. Obviously, the big event is the Mecca, which is known as Oshkosh.
The pilgrimage begins from all over the country, leading right
known
to
as
Fisk.
Fisk Arrival. As of the recording of this, the Fisk Arrival has been busy.
That's news, I suppose.
And it's not even the start of it. That's the crazy part of it. We're recording this on Friday, July 22nd, and there's already planes backed up over the Fisk Arrival. Hasn't even started yet.
I'm having FOMO and it hasn't even started. I'm finding this really obnoxious. Like I see posts from all my friends being like, just got to Oshkosh from like a day ago. And I'm like, this isn't fair. You guys have like a 2-week Oshkosh and I only get to be there for a week.
You only get to be
okay. I think 3 days was long.
You get to go, period.
I know, Trevor. This isn't the comparison game. I'm going in y'all's.
But you just compared.
No, I'm going to allow this. She's going to go and represent all of us well, and meet and greet. And that's not. This is going nowhere.
Meet and greet our fans.
I'll meet Bryan Turner. I will make a fool of myself. I will. Hopefully see some listeners, give out some envelopes, give out some stickers.
Hopefully not get caught in a storm.
Oh, it's going to happen. It happens every year.
It's
Probably Wednesday.
It's already planning on it.
Yeah.
Like tonight or tomorrow night.
Should be great. You're going to love it.
Jim.
So Madi is the only representative of the Flying Midwest podcast crew going out to Oshkosh. So Mandy and I actually met up today. I gave her some things to hand out to all you fan type folks. She's got some stickers, some business cards. She doesn't know it yet, but she's going to be doing all of our marketing out there, trying to meet fun and exciting vendors and guests for future episodes. Right, Madi?
Right.
No pressure.
Whatever. I'm
Okay.
going to Oshkosh. It's going to be fun. My dad has a shirt that is the color of a safety cone that has the Flying Midwest podcast on it. I'm super excited.
A safety cone. Jim.
She did promise bright and obnoxious colors for herself and her father at Airventure.
You can't get more obnoxious than a safety cone.
No, you certainly can't. All right. So because we have so much going on this episode, we're skipping the news. The news is Oshkosh. The event is Oshkosh. So without further ado, we're going to start this off by hearing from Madi and learning what's on her to-do list for Airventure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about Oshkosh. Are you excited
Right?
that Oshkosh exists? I know you can't go this year, but are you excited that Oshkosh exists as a concept?
Yes, I actually am very excited because I get to live vicariously through you guys who get to go and visit Oshkosh, and I expect a full book report by the end of it. So we have a list, right, Maddie?
Yes, I have a list
we're
of
talking
things that you cannot miss. You should not miss. You might miss, but try not to. At Oshkosh.
Trevor will miss.
There's a lot to do. There's almost an overwhelming amount of things to do. In fact, if you go on the EAA app, which I highly recommend, it has all the events, every forum, whatever that is happening is on there. You will go, and starting on Monday morning, starting at, I think the first event thing is at 7 a.m. There is just a mind-numbing amount of things to do. However, just go look through them, see what interests you. There's plenty of forums, there's plenty of events, there's plenty of things to go see and do. Maybe you just want to walk around for a day. Definitely do whatever fits your energy level, however you like to plan. But some things that I personally like doing, and I go with my dad, so...
Don't get blisters.
Oh, you'll get blisters, and you'll get wildly sunburned. It's inevitable. It's just something that happens at Oshkosh. You get dehydrated, you get sunburned, you get tired, yeah. You have to buy water at some point. You'll run out. It happens.
Yep.
All the day and night air shows are awesome. Obviously, the night air shows are more of a specialized event because there's only a few of them. But I highly recommend them. Pro tip. Thanks, Mom. When you go, take your chairs, take your blankets, take your snacks, whatever, and plop them down in a place on the flight line, and then you don't have to worry about them for the rest of the day. You just go, and when you want to go sit, you put them up, and voila, as my mother says, you have your spot on the flight line. A personal favorite of my dad and I's is the Warbirds section. It is a vast section. Obviously, there's so much to see, but as a Warbird fanatic, one of my favorites also has arguably the best merchandise shop, so definitely stop by there. Another favorite thing of ours to do that is free is going and talking to the owners in the experimental areas and in the vintage areas. I have a few friends out there. Bryan Turner will be in vintage, so if you want to see him, he may be there. So yes, if you walk around those places, you'll see a lot of really unique aircraft. Definitely don't want to miss most of that, depending on what your interests are. Experimental, you'll see a lot of weird stuff. Definitely, all of these places are worth checking out. Another favorite of my dad and I's that I remember we did a long time ago, we haven't done recently, but we're going to do this year, is the STOL area. So the short takeoff and landing area. They do competitions, I believe, all week. You can see them going up and flying and doing their stuff. It's really fun. Let's see. Ooh, Bryan may or may not plug his own event, but if he doesn't,
Plug it for him.
there is a YouTuber extravaganza. Bryan will be there along with some other YouTubers who are in the field of aviation. Definitely don't miss that if you follow anybody on YouTube, especially Bryan. I'm sure he would love to see you there. Go visit the Seaplane base, take the bus. And new this year, I believe, is the EAA pilot proficiency clinics. You can sign up for them online. A lot of them have waiting lists right now. I tried to sign up for the CFI one on Monday morning. Unfortunately, that one has a pretty big wait list, but definitely if you can try, if you see one that interests you, definitely go look at that. There are forums out the wazoo. So no matter what kind of pilot you are, no matter what you fly, what your experience level is, whatever, there is a forum for you. Honestly, there's so much to see there. You can't see everything. And that's why, I think that's what keeps people coming back. Not only is there the family aspect, but there's so much to do and see. And not only are there forums, but there's also booths galore. You can go see the new up and coming experimental aircraft. You can see what Lycoming and Continental have going on. The Boeing Plaza in itself is, I could sit there all day. And sometimes I do. All the cool planes are there. The coolest ones are there, at least I think. They just stick all the really neat ones all in one spot. So definitely keep an eye on Boeing Plaza. It's always a fun time.
Well, very cool, Madi. Thanks so much. It sounds like you and your dad have plenty to check out at Oshkosh, and I'm certain you'll find plenty of more things to do. We can't wait to hear all about it when you get back. So, next up on this episode, we're going to start talking with some of our guests and learning about what they're looking forward to this year at Airventure 2022.
We're adding a person to the podcast.
That
Yay!
wasn't approved by the podcast board of directors.
Oh, you don't want to say hello to my podcast people?
Who's our...
podcast people?
That's Hannah. She's cool.
What's her name?
Hannah.
Hannah's an awesome name. Hi, Hannah.
It is.
Can she hear
Come
us?
over here, Hannah.
We'll see
We're
what
going to
happens here.
Oshkosh.
We are going to Oshkosh.
Yes. We're going tomorrow morning. It's going to be great.
In the morning.
We're making plans last minute. We don't know when we're leaving.
All right, so you are Maddie's friend Hannah. You are from Oregon, right?
Yep.
Yeah, except for going with Maddie, which is probably anyone's highlight of Oshkosh. What are you looking forward to for Oshkosh this year?
There's a couple lectures I'm really looking forward to. The Perlan glider is going to be there, and I know one of their pilots, so I'm really excited to go see that. But I also get to see people at Oshkosh that I only see once a year at Oshkosh. So really, like, my favorite thing every year is going around and seeing everybody.
That seems to be a common theme that we've been hearing. Everyone's excited to go connect with people again, which is so cool about Oshkosh. Just it's a big family reunion, as some people have said.
Yeah, like
Great
I have a
to get
friend.
together.
I have a friend at the Tri-Motor booth who runs merchandise there, and I met her in 2016 when it was in Salem. And now I go see her every year. That's like my first stop every Sunday when I get there, is I hike
fun.
down to the Tri-Motor booth and go say hi to Liz.
That's cool.
What's your favorite Oshkosh memory?
Oh, I have two really good ones. So last year, my dad and I flew the Stinson out from Oregon, and we participated in the Stinson arrival. And there were, I think, 25 or 26 of us.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was his first time landing at Oshkosh. And it was my turn to sit left seat, so that was pretty exciting. But yeah, I didn't know if I'd be able to convince him to make the trip, and it was a really, really fun experience for us. And then I also have a friend who flies the Ford Tri-Motor. And one year he called me and he wanted a right seater. And he said, hey, can you come sit right seat for a flight? And so I got to sit right seat in the Tri-Motor for a flight around Oshkosh, which was really cool.
Oh, that is really cool.
That's
You didn't say
awesome.
no, thank you. I'm okay.
No, he's like, can you be here by 1? I'm like, absolutely, I will make it happen.
I was hoping that you'd say that you'd be most looking forward to plugging our podcast with Maddie, but your answers are good too.
I'm going to force her to hand out a sticker or two to the cool people she knows, because I don't know anybody cool.
Well,
She
except
knows
for
all the
Hannah
cool people.
and us. So we're good.
But she's already, well, I'm going to give you stickers, but like you guys have already got merch and stuff, or you will be getting it.
Here's the last question I have. Does Hannah listen to the podcast, or has she heard it?
I haven't.
She has not.
Maddie didn't even tell me that she did a podcast.
To be fair,
Maddie-
she's not in the Midwest.
Maddie, are you embarrassed by us?
Yes.
That's a yes. All right. So
Yeah.
here is your mission if you choose to accept it. The entire way to Oshkosh, just replay episodes of our podcast.
That means I have to listen to myself and you guys talk. I think I'm okay.
That sounds amazing, actually.
Well, I'm always looking for new podcasts for work. So
Oh shoot, are you serious? Oh well, heck, you gotta listen to the podcast now.
I love podcasts. I wish I had some more to listen to. Maddie's like, I don't know what to tell you. If I had some, I'd tell you. Hannah, it was wonderful to meet you. Sorry you have to be in a car with Maddie. It's going to be fine, though.
She chose this. Okay, good night, boys.
Okay, see ya.
See ya. Nice to meet you, Hannah.
So our very first guest we have on the Airventure Call-In Spectacular, Eric Strom, who is from Minnesota. He is a listener of the podcast. We appreciate you listening, and being a fan, or maybe you just listening. You don't necessarily have to be a fan, but so
I'm a fan.
well, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Congratulations to you, first of all. We saw on your Instagram that you have been selected to be a company commander in the Army. So congratulations on that. Moving on to the theme of the episode, though, we're going to be talking about people's Airventures experiences, whether it be what you're looking forward to this year or things that you've experienced in the past that were just great memories. So what do you got for us, Eric?
Yeah. So last year was my first year going to Airventure. I had my private pilot certificate for all of about 7 months when I flew in there. So, may or may not have been, the wisest thing to do, but it was safe. It was all that. It was good. And, I was saying that that scene in Airplane where the sweat is just like pouring down the guy's face. That was a little bit of how it was, but we went middle of the week, and it was pretty easy getting in, and I think that was actually a good experience to do the Fisk arrival when it wasn't super busy, because this year we're going on Sunday and anticipate it being pretty busy. This year, I'm excited. Myself and my friend Kevin, we have a Instagram channel brand, Mind and Soul Aviation, and we're both bringing our kids this year, and so we're super excited about that. Yeah, super excited to show them what Oshkosh is all about. They're only staying for a couple of days, but it'll be good experience for them, and great to get them exposed to all the awesomeness that is Oshkosh.
That's gonna be so much fun. I love seeing kids there. In fact, my favorite photo that I have from Oshkosh of all time, besides the one of my dad sleeping under a bomber, that's really great, but I have a picture of this kid, I don't know, he must have been like 8 or 9, in a fold-out chair underneath a 747. He's the only one for like 100 feet, and everybody, there's a ring of people. There wasn't like anybody like shooing people away, but this kid was just chilling under the aircraft. It was awesome. It's the best photo I have. It's hilarious. This kid was just owning the whole Boeing Plaza.
No, it's awesome. It's fun seeing kids there. I mean, it's such a great introduction to aviation for them. I mean, what better place to start your aviation passion than Oshkosh?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
There's so much to see there and experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what to do with your children, bring them to Kidventure. It's all week, I believe. There's stuff for kids to do that's very, kid-centric. So aviation stuff geared towards a more fun mindset, so they don't have to sit in forums all day if you want to go do that. To all you listeners out there who are thinking of bringing your kids, no worries. There's daycare. Just kidding. Yes. Your kids will find some fun things for them to do that's just for them.
Yeah, I'm excited this year to check out the fly-in theater. We didn't make it to that last year, so I'm gonna try and make it over there this year and see Top Gun Maverick for the 3rd time. Sorry, Trevor. I know you're not here to steal any joy, but I know you have your feelings about that. So.
It's all right. I hear it a lot. I hear it all the time.
He's gonna be okay.
He will. He'll be okay.
It's Navy. I mean, it's the Navy.
I mean, they don't make any cool movies about the Air Force because, I mean, what are they going to show? Somebody flying a drone? I mean, it's like
Iron Eagle.
Ooh,
Iron Eagle. Fair. That's good. That's
Strategic Air Command. By Dawn's Early Light. I mean, I could go on, but then again, you have the Final Countdown and a bunch of other things too that go Navy. That little sibling rivalry.
Yes. Yeah.
They talked about the Civil Air Patrol for about 6 seconds in American Made. I just want to throw that out there.
Do they really?
Yeah. They do.
I don't remember that.
You're gonna have to watch it again.
I didn't know that tickled me.
When the guy introduces himself as CIA, he mentions something about you were in the Civil Air Patrol on top of your class or something like that. I'm like, that's not. That's not
somebody,
a thing.
Somebody wrote that knowing that anybody in CAP would be like, "Hey."
Well, actually,
what was your favorite experience of Oshkosh, Eric?
That's what I was just about to ask.
Yeah, got favorite experience. Well, favorite aviation experience.
We are an aviation podcast.
Yes, we are in aviation. I mean, there are other experiences at Oshkosh, but
SOS tent.
Yes, that's actually what I was going to say.
Oh, those guys got in so much trouble.
Favorite aviation memory, man. I don't know. There's a lot. The daily air shows are great, right? I mean, there's a lot of planes that you unless you're big into the the air show circuit, planes you might not otherwise see. So those are great. And actually getting around to meet a lot of the guys that I've followed on social media, like, Jason Shapard and Josh Flowers and Chris Palmer, all those guys. That was pretty cool. Cause a lot of those guys started following when I was deployed. Kevin and I both started following and watching their videos when we were still deployed, when we kind of started our aviation journey. So, so that was pretty cool to finally meet them in person and kind of tell them that story. And, so that was fun.
I have a point of order. I would like to be offended on behalf of the one and only Bryan Turner, because he was not mentioned in this conversation of YouTubers. I got you, Bryan.
Yeah. Sorry.
Will he be
Bryan.
on later? He's going to be on later.
He's going to be on later. Speaking of which, hate to cut this short, Eric, but we really appreciate you coming in. We're going to bring the next guy in, but we appreciate you being a fan of the podcast and for your input tonight. It's been awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks for having me.
dealing with our ridiculousness.
Yes.
Yes,
Funness.
absolutely. And Maddie,
I will see you at
Oshkosh.
And I've got to get you over to my hangar at some point, since we're on the same damn airport.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
We'll make it happen.
The beach house.
Yes.
The beach house. We'll make it happen, Eric.
All right. That sounds good.
See you, Cap.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you.
Take care.
Thanks.
care.
Yep.
He's pretty cool. I like him.
I've never met him. He was really nice. You sounded like you knew him. So I was like, oh, maybe he's been on the podcast before. Because there have been a few guests that I haven't met. You sounded like you knew him. So I was just like, oh, maybe he's been on the podcast before when I wasn't on. So I introduced myself.
No,
and Trevor didn't, neither did you.
He listens to the podcast. He knows who you are.
No, but I thought he was one of the guests that we've had that I didn't meet. Does that make
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No, you see what I'm saying? So
he's so excited.
Because I didn't know him. Maddie. She's my favorite. No, absolutely not. Hello.
There's two people
there.
there.
Zoom is struggling.
Well, I have to figure out how to turn that back thing off. We look all wonky.
You click.
Don't move.
Don't do it. Just let her be blotchy. That's not fair.
No, if she doesn't move, she's fine. Remind me of your name again. I know Ed. What was your
I'm
name
Caitlin.
again? Caitlin. Okay. I was
Caitlin,
thinking.
yeah.
I thought Kate for some reason. I couldn't. Okay. Well, we got it now.
That's close.
We got it now. I figured I would just ask and not embarrass myself. So here's the skinny. Here's what we're doing tonight. As you saw on the internet machine, we are having our Airventure call-in spectacular. And we want to hear from you folks, our fans, or at least listeners, about your quit laughing, you two. About your favorite Oshkosh memory or what you're looking forward to this year.
Cool.
So what do you guys got for us?
Yeah, what do we got? Well, last year was my first Airventure ever.
Okay.
So we decided to camp the full week. And I'm not a big camper.
Not by any means.
We were successful for the most part. But Wednesday night, I don't know if you remember Wednesday night last year.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard some things.
Yeah.
Maybe you
My
can
dad
refresh
and I
your
were in
memory.
a tent. I heard about it.
The air show was canceled. The night air show was canceled because of the storms that were rolling in and predicted. And we were on the campground area and they had warnings. They were putting off the sirens and buses were coming through the campgrounds, taking people to the EAA museum. And we're like, no, we're good. We're good. It's over.
It was more me. I was like, she's like, oh, we should probably go to the museum. And I said, nah, we'll be fine. Because there was like 2 or 3 other systems that had blown over and it was clear and everything. I'm like, yeah, it's just gonna blow over, but we were wrong.
Yes, our tent was like a disco,
Like a rave.
Yes, you felt lightning.
all that was missing was glow sticks.
We were very
Glow sticks, some techno music, and
Yep. Oh,
yeah.
we were not prepared for the rave, but our tent stood, and then the next day was beautiful.
Yeah, but eventually it was so bad that we did go into the car.
Yeah.
Because it was just pouring way too much and the wind was blowing around. And our tent is like an Amazon Basics tent. You get the Amazon Basics batteries for your headset, and they only last like 5 hours. So I wasn't sure how long the tent was gonna last. But we made it out alive.
We made it out to tell. We lived to tell the tale.
That's the best kind of tale to tell.
Basics tent again. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's still alive and kicking. So it's gonna go to its second Airventure this year.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I wanted to hear how your Wednesday was last year for everyone else.
I dragged my dad to the EA museum, and it was actually great. We were on some of the first ones there, and they didn't really know where to put us. They're like, "Yeah, you can go downstairs," and I packed, like, I had brought like water and snacks and like an extra change of clothes and like a charger. So I had all my stuff because I was like, I am prepared to be here for like a day. Like, we're good. My dad is like, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I was like, Dad, trust me. we're gonna live because we're here, Right. He's like,
you were right, Maddie.
Planes. Everybody was fine, but like in case our tent flooded, which it didn't, surprisingly, but in the off chance that like the wrong gust hit it, like we would have been, very uncomfortable. So I was like, well, you should just bring our stuff and like be safe. And so yeah, we sat. I mean, I went and explored the museum because it was awesome. I had never been in, so like. We're going to go again this year. I think on Saturday or maybe Sunday, we're going to go in and actually look at the museum, when there's not 18 zillion people in there. Yeah. So I remember when there was the tornadoes, they announced that, hey, there's going to be tornadoes. Everybody get in the lowest level is where like all the Burt Rutan planes are and where they have all kinds of stuff down there. And it's a big space, and people brought their blow up mattresses. People brought their sleeping bags, all their personal belongings. I'm like, this is insane. I'm just like walking around. I'm talking to my primary instructor on the phone. He calls me. He's like, hey, got a minute? I'm like, sure. Yeah, I'm just in the basement. There's a tornado warning. It's fine. I'm at Oshkosh. Like, this is the craziest thing that I've seen. And it was bonkers. I've never seen that many people in such a small space in my entire life. It felt like a refugee camp. It was crazy.
But
we were all okay. But if people like took it to the next level, I was like, it's getting a little weird, but we were all okay. I mean, it was mostly just like really strong winds and rain. I don't think, was there a tornado? I can't remember if there was or not, but
it wasn't on the grounds, but I think it was like 10 miles to the west. So
that's right.
They were pretty good with their predictions. I mean, they were all off by 10 miles, which I think that's pretty good.
It's pretty darn close for something that's always cruising around,
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
that was, whew. That was an event. My dad slept on the floor in one of the viewing rooms for like 2 hours. We were there for like 5 hours, I think.
Wow.
We were some of the first ones there, and we were some of the last ones to leave because we couldn't get a bus back to where we were. We were in Scholler, but like the buses were full going there, so we just had to wait for a while. And it was still like pouring rain. It would not let up. But we got back to our tent, and I was afraid. I was like, oh, it's going to be flooded, but it was fine. We double tarped it. We were good. We took the tent up after we took the tarp. We had tarp inside and out. So we took the inside tarp out when we were undoing it for when we were going home. And there was like this much standing water.
Oh,
wow. It was insane. We couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But yeah, that's my wild Wednesday Oshkosh story.
See, I wasn't there for the Wednesday storms. I showed up Friday evening.
Okay.
So you missed it.
I missed a lot of it, but from what I understand, you have not experienced a real Oshkosh until you've experienced the storms.
Yep.
What do you call it? Slosh gosh?
Well, yeah, there was
Slosh gosh.
Slosh gosh.
There was all that rain. And
I was at Slosh gosh, but it was a different kind of slosh. If you pick up my drift.
Sure.
Not too much.
I've heard about those.
Yeah, right. But I've never flown in there, and I've been kind of too scared to do it because it's just so hectic. So I actually took this trailer to Oshkosh, and so I had it was dry camping, so I had no water, no electricity or anything like that. I had a solar panel, and so I was able to basically live. I had propane, I had all the basic amenities. It was great.
Sure.
And that was my Oshkosh experiences. I was literally like 100 yards from one of the main gates. And I was able to go in and out, and I had a volunteer take it because I was basically getting an introduction to the Venture Cup race,
okay.
which they do a lot through the Midwest. And a good buddy of mine is one of the headers of that. And so he's like, here's some of your volunteer points. Go and walk around and see some of the airplanes. I'm like, sweet.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about Jim? What was your Oshkosh experience? Have you had any storms?
I haven't been to Oshkosh since 2018, and it makes me very sad.
Yeah.
We were at Oshkosh at the same time. That was my second Oshkosh. My first one was 2016. I didn't know what a plane was at that time, but I went anyway. It was fun.
Just Maddie, look up. Come on.
I know, right? You don't even have to look up. You just have to look straight ahead. But I wasn't in aviation at that point. I just thought warbirds were cool. My dad's like, hey, there's an air show. And I was like, that sounds cool. And so we went. And then 2 years later, the Liberty tent convinced me to go into aviation. Because I was already signed up with Liberty. And they're like, we have an aviation program. I was like, oh, are you going to give me your discount? And they said, no. So I still did it because I'm a sucker. But here I am.
I will say, though, that in 2018, that was the first time I had gone to the seaplane base. And having not been there before.
The social?
No, we went in the middle of the day and it was a warmer day and we just hung out by the lake and we sat under some shaded trees and just watched seaplanes. Yeah. It was like
that sounds like fun.
It was so cool in my mind to go from like the busy air show space there and go to like chilling by the lake and looking at airplanes. It was, I thought that was so cool.
It's the biggest hidden gem of the whole entire convention.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I first started going, I would go by myself, and I was just my aunt and uncle owned a cottage that wasn't that far from there, and I would always buy like a big, huge submarine sandwich from the local grocery store, cut it up in pieces, put it in little baggies for the week, and I would go to the seaplane base and eat my lunch there. It was like $1 to get. I had my little sandwich. It was perfect.
that sounds perfect.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, that sounds lovely. I might have to do that this year. I'll tell my dad.
The one thing that I will say is make sure you take the bus there and you don't try to park over there with you.
Oh, yeah. We took the bus.
They will. Oh, yeah. They'll charge you $20 to park there, whether there's there or not.
Yeah, screw that.
Sure.
Yep, take the bus. Worth it.
Yes.
Oof, yeah, taking the bus. There's no question about that. Yeah, pro tip. My mom said I had to write down things because I was going to be proactive. It's like, oh, things to do at Oshkosh. And my mom's like, write down pro tip. And I'm like, Mom, I can't say that.
I got your mom's back.
Yeah, pro tip. Yeah, right. Pro tip. It rains on Wednesday night, every night, every year.
On Wednesday night, every night, it's going to rain.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what you just said. Got it.
I mean, it's not entirely wrong. It was just stupid. Yes, every Wednesday night it rains, so the Wednesday night air show often becomes the Thursday night air show.
Yes. We're okay with that,
but,
especially if you're there for a whole
week. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, buddy.
And we've lost Maddie.
What's the dog's name?
So what are you guys looking forward to this year?
Oh wait, we need the dog's name first, Trevor. Hang on. Let's cover the important points.
I apologize.
I'm out.
Well, the dog's name is Lala, like Lollapalooza.
Oh, cool. Hi, Lala, you sweetheart.
She loves flying.
Yes.
It's her favorite thing to do.
Yep. Go fly.
She's
got little headgear.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's one thing I want to do with my Piper. I want to take it flying.
Not the airplane, the dog. The dog is named Piper.
Yeah. I have a dog. Her name is Piper. She's not in here right now, but yes.
Yeah, I think, at least for me, I'm most excited for the night air shows and
yes,
just the people. I think that we've met so many people through aviation, whether it's from like our local EAA chapter, through our YouTube channel, through EAA, and it's like a big giant family reunion every year being at Oshkosh. So I'm really looking forward to getting together with all the people that live all across the country that we've met over the years.
Yeah. We hope to be at the Fly Wisconsin booth for a little bit on Friday.
Okay.
Working on our Fly Wisconsin passport. There's about 127 airports in Wisconsin, and I've hit only 24. But it's not the destination.
it's the
absolutely. Okay, but what did you guys think of that aerobatic drone last year? Did you see that one during the night show?
Yeah,
the aerobatic drone.
Yeah, the drone
that they brought in. That had the fireworks and stuff. Did you see that one?
I don't think I remember that. I know.
Yeah, I know. I just remember because I'm like, why?
What is that? Wait, isn't that an unpopular opinion that drone pilots aren't real pilots?
That's more popular than unpopular. So
yeah, I guess you're right. Sorry.
I wasn't
so unpopular with the drone operators.
I wasn't a huge fan of the RC drone display. It just looked fake.
Yeah.
Now let's see real people do it.
Right.
Which reminds me, I really want some of those underglows for my airplane. I think that would be really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run out to the Pep Boys and throw some on there.
Just gotta do new weight and balance, right? That'd be good.
Details. Now, are you guys flying in there or are you driving?
So we've got a little issue with our radios. We're not flying in.
What do you guys fly?
We have a 1950 Piper Pacer.
Cool.
Okay.
I was just talking about the Pacer today.
Yeah. If you guys are ever in Kenosha or in the Racine area, let me know. We can go.
We'll let you know.
How far is that from Milwaukee again?
About like 20 miles south of Milwaukee or so.
Oh, that's not bad. My dad lives in Milwaukee. That's why I mentioned it. So.
Okay. Yeah, we're always.
You have a Pacer in your future.
Yeah. Well, it's very underrated. I feel like not enough people are looking, and they're actually becoming a lot more popular lately.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, for the dog and full fuel and maybe 20, 30 pounds of baggage, we're still under gross.
Wow. They're
Yeah.
workhorses. I know that.
Yep.
I think people can't get over the tri-pacers and how goofy they look.
Yeah.
And they forget the Pacer exists.
We felt very lucky that we got our plane when we did. We got it in fall of 2019. And we could have touched our plane after COVID. I mean,
yeah, but it has all the luxuries of a plane from 1950, which is absolutely none.
Mm-hmm.
But
it flies.
It flies.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go.
the kicker.
the luxury.
Yep.
That is the luxury.
Do you have ashtrays and a cigarette lighter?
We don't have ashtrays, but
Okay.
there's a spot for a cigarette lighter. If we had one, we had like a little nub that goes in.
Okay.
We'd be all right. But
Well, I think unfortunately we're running out of time. So we have to bring in our next guest here pretty soon. So we certainly appreciate you being fans of the podcast and for coming on tonight. It was really great having you guys.
Are you guys going to be there all week?
Yes, I'll be there all week. I'm working at the Lightspeed booth. So if you guys,
Okay.
I'll be there Monday
will
through
stop by.
Wednesday. So stop by, and then Caitlin and the rest of our family is coming up on Thursday night.
Yep. There's
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be there all week.
We're going to have Madi bring you a sticker too or two.
Oh, that'd be
Yes.
awesome.
I will bring merch. The merch we have.
Well, the little
at
merch we
least.
have.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
We're trying.
Very cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
thanks so much, guys. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
See you soon.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Well played.
True fans. They're true fans.
Yep.
They said the thing. He doesn't actually want to talk to us.
No, he's just
figured
here. He's going to show up and just listen. Oh, hi, Bryan.
Hey,
Hi.
how's it going?
Did you get everything all weighed out?
We're negotiating how low beer is on the priority list.
And you find it there.
Very,
Or
very
close
high.
there.
I might actually.
What is he gonna do? Taxi his Comanche over to the nearest liquor store?
No. Hey, how are you getting there, Madi? If you were a good host.
I'm driving with my truck. I'm not. Am I really? Are you insinuating I'm gonna be doing a beer run? Because you're probably right.
Yes, that's absolutely what I insinuated.
Oh, this is all audio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it sure
I'm
is.
sitting here like, what light looks the best? I made this mistake last time. Okay.
Yep. And I'm
about it.
going to be honest with you. I was just going to let it happen.
Good.
I was watching and
God.
going, he spent a lot of time on his video for an audio form of media.
Every time. And I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize for being late. The reason the reason I'm late is because I invented a drinking game where I take a shot every time you guys mention my name in your podcast. I'm lucky right now that I'm even awake.
That's awesome.
Are you guys aware? There was this thing up until last year at Oshkosh called the beer coffin. Do you guys know what the beer coffin is?
No, but you're going to tell us, I think.
Nope. Google it. So
well played.
There goes all my authority in this podcast.
Yeah. The first time I went, a friend of mine he said that to me. He goes, "Are you aware there's this thing called the beer coffin?" And I was like, "No, but you're going to tell me." And there's a long line of that happening out in, I think, Camp Scholler. There's a guy who has a coffin, and it's filled with ice and filled with beers. And what it is people from all over the country go out there, and you bring a 6-pack of beer, and then you take some beers out. And so it's really kind of goofy. He does this weird beer centric blessing or whatever. Last year I went out there and they didn't have it. And they said it was due to COVID restrictions or whatever. So I'm kind of hoping that they have that again, but there's a whole sort of underground beer scene going on at Oshkosh, and I like beer. So I'm going to go trek out and look for that again. But if you go to Oshkosh, what I was told was it's not something easy to locate. So they said, just go to Camp Scholler and look for an old guy, because they've probably been around for a while. And people who've been around for a while probably know about the beer coffin. So we started, anybody who looked like they were like 60 were like, "Hey, do you know about the beer coffin?" It was like, we ended up not finding it. But so I don't know. If you're Scholler,
I'm even more depressed that I'm not going this year.
Is this your sacred quest now to find the beer coffin this year?
It really was last year, but they made it sound like it might be done for good. I don't know. It was such a cool thing. If you're a beer drinker, if you're not a beer drinker, it's stupid.
So is part of your weights and balance issues that you're trying to figure out how to get a coffin into your aircraft to do your own?
No.
Okay.
So my weight and balance issues are this. Me and my friend Eric Johnston are flying to Oshkosh, and me and my friend Eric Johnston and my wife are flying home. So somehow we have to, if we have her weight in beer on the way there, we have to drink it all so that we can have an even swap on the way back. So we went out to the plane tonight. We're good on weight. We're a little close on space. So that's the thing, is it's just trying to figure out how to, honestly, I filled up the plane, which is 90 gallons. So what's 9 times 6, 540 pounds of fuel. That's a lot of fuel. And I probably shouldn't have filled it all the way up. So we're trying to figure out, like, hey, how do we get us here? And then, realistically coming back, my plan was to not do a fuel stop on the way, but on the way back, we're going to have 3 of us. So let's not fill up the tanks. Let's do a fuel stop. So we're just trying to make sure we're safe.
Yeah.
And not that I care. I just don't want to be that, like, I own the website World's Greatest Pilot. And if I die because the plane was overweight, it's 110 degrees in Texas right now. I can't be that guy.
I thought there's at least some motivation behind it.
Yeah.
So you did mention your new drinking game, but you didn't mention any cease or desist orders. So I feel like we're cool continuing to name drop you as long as humanly possible.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's cool.
Okay.
You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
That or until our audience is like, we're kind of sick of hearing about this Bryan Turner guy. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We get it. You talked to Bryan Turner a couple times. It's fine. Let's move on.
It's like,
right. One day it'll be me going, I was on their podcast, and they'll be like, shut up. No, you weren't. I will say this, you guys' logo is awesome. I love it. Whoever came up with that, like, it's sharp.
It's the logo guy on Fiverr that Trevor gave guidance to.
Well, he's my logo came from a logo guy on Fiverr, and I'm stuck with this jackass on a nondescript airplane with a parachute. Like,
everyone knows it's supposed to be a Cirrus.
I paid.
So I've got this guy. So I specifically looked for this guy on Fiverr. He's out of Sioux Falls.
Okay.
And he does a really good job. So Madi just had a few critiques that wanted to get made and a couple of files. So I agreed when I get home in September, October, I'd fly down and I'd give him a flight in a GA airplane.
Oh, cool.
If you want, I can get you his contact information. He does a really good job.
So I'm torn because the guy who I did my logo, I offered the same thing, but he never took me up on it. And so it's cheaper to just use my guy because I don't have to take a
Touche.
Yeah.
Point well taken.
I'm stuck with that.
You've got some stuff to bring to Oshkosh, some mementos.
I do. So what I have is
got a box.
Oh my God. So I do. I have a box of
nice.
It's pins and business cards and stickers.
Yep.
And then for kids, I've got like little glider airplanes and stuff that I'm giving. Lots of kids, I'm learning, watch my channel. And so If any kids are around and they want to come over, I think I'm going to be in Vintage near my airplane. I'll be giving out stickers and little toy airplanes and stuff like that just for those kids.
Aww.
The unfortunate part of the story is that you had to cut that box specifically for weight balance.
It's in my office for a reason. But I'm taking pictures of those planes and I'm going to be like, I'll send it to you.
Promise.
Hey, so speaking of Oshkosh, we are having our Zoom call-in Airventure, our Airventure call-in Extravaganza spectacular. I just keep adding words every time we talk to a guest. So
I dig it.
So we're curious from your perspective, what are you most excited for this year?
The thing I like about Oshkosh, and I remember hearing someone else say this years ago and thinking that sounded cheesy. It was Josh Flowers. I was watching a video, and this was before that I did anything. And I was watching this video of this young kid who looked like he was all of 12 years old go, I love Oshkosh because it's a family reunion. And I remember hearing that and thinking that was super cheesy. The thing I most look forward to is meeting people. I'll share with you, I'm not a very social person at all. Like, I'm a homebody. I don't go out much. I'm, believe it or not, fairly introverted. Most of my friends are pilots, and most of my friends don't live anywhere near me. I've made really strong connections with people from going to fly-ins and from aviation forums and stuff. And so I have a lot of friends that I only get to see once or twice a year. Oshkosh is one of those things where, I get to see my friends. And it's such a cool thing. It's good and bad, right? Because I don't get to see them very often. But when I get to see them, it's like, we share all these stories and we feel like we connect where we just left off. This year, a really good friend of mine, Glenn Towler, passed away from cancer. He was really, really big in the aviation scene, and he did a lot of stuff, and it snuck up on him, and it got him real quick. And so we put together a thing to buy him a brick under the Brown Arch. And so I want to go see that. I want to take a picture of it and get a selfie with it. That's important to me. I have friends. I'm absolutely looking forward to meeting Madi. Madi is someone like and I'm not joking. People, I go to fly-ins and I go to Oshkosh and people shoulder check me and be like, hey, good stuff or whatever. Madi has expressed to me that my channel, for whatever reason, has resonated with her. And she has mentioned that she's, I think, planning on attending our ego-fueled look at me YouTuber event on Monday. And
it's on the list. There it is. Bryan.
It's on the list.
Stock Bryan Turner. I saw
I am. So I've actually been thinking about that. Like, I get to meet Madi. And so that's important to me because I know that you've expressed to me that this, whatever it is I do, whatever stupid ass stuff I do, has somehow resonated with you. And so there's a difference between someone coming up to me and going, I know who you are. And very rarely people, I've had 3 messages this year from people who said, hey, I decided to get my instrument rating because I saw this video where you flew in the clouds. Or there's certain people who've expressed to me, hey, it's not just, hey, I know you, hey, there's been some kind of thing that has connected with me. And Madi, you've messaged me a couple of times, and I get the sense that something about my channel is connected with you. So I really am looking forward to meeting you, Madi. So that's something that's on my list is find Madi. I don't know how or where or whatever.
I will be wearing obnoxiously colored shirts. You can't miss me.
You and 500 million other people are going to be wearing the exact.
Trevor, I didn't ask you. I made the shirts that I'm going to be wearing.
Are we going to have an intervention and talk about your drinking problem with your father?
I was going to say, I don't know how you two won't be able to get a hold of each other. Her dad's going to be there. You already have his number from the intervention. So I feel like it's going to work out just fine.
And I feel like your husband has no legs, so he's probably not coming. This is what I remember.
The important bits. I appreciate that.
But the thing is, legitimately, I like to make connections. Like I don't care about air shows. Like it's cool. I'm not there to watch air shows. I really am there to just kind of meet people and talk aviation and stuff. And so I like on my website, I've got this thing called a spot tracker. And I'm putting a thing on my website where you can kind of find out where I'm being. So for people who really do want to come out and visit, here's where I am. Let's talk planes. Let's visit. That's probably the most important thing. That, and my wife is coming this year. She's never been to Oshkosh. She only has about a 2-hour window of listening to pilots talk about. She probably shouldn't come. But So I said, she's going to fly out Tuesday and Wednesday. So I said, Tuesday, we're going to socialize. She and I go to some of the same flying. Every flying she goes to, I go to because I'm the pilot. So she also has some friend connections from these fly-ins, and those people are going to be out there. So she gets to do that. The Wednesday night air show, I think, is something that even if you're not into aviation, that is such an amazing thing. She has expressed to me, like, she's like, I've always wanted a vacation in Utah. Do you think the Patey wives would talk to me about where we should go visit there? And so I'm like, the Pateys are very accessible at Oshkosh. Their wives are always right there by them. I messaged one of them. So I'm trying to, the first half is like kind of just free spirit. The second half is, okay, how do I make this an experience that will make my wife want to come back as long as I'm flying? But it's 100% about personal connections. It's 50% about personal connections and 50% about SOS Brothers, that tent where they just go nuts and drink beer. Yeah. So the SOS Brothers set up this tent just outside, and they own all the land. Just out, they set up this thing called the beer tent, and they fly this big yellow balloon, and you follow the balloon and you go drink. But they called it Beer Venture, and EAA sued them for the name, using the word venture, which is kind of extreme.
That is so extreme. Did it go through? Like, did it?
Oh yeah, now it's just the SOS beer tent.
Boo.
Turns out it didn't hurt their business at all, because they're the only place where girls in bikinis will give you beer through a bong.
So you're going to have an opportunity to defend your honor and your unpopular opinion.
What honor?
Any honor or dignity you may have left, we'll allow you to defend it against the unpopular opinion you may have brought to our podcast at one point in the past.
Oh boy.
Do you recall that comment?
I think I know where you're going with this. Yeah. I'm going to struggle to back it up due to my lack of experience and knowledge, but I will die on that hill for no reason.
I think that you're going to have an opportunity to do that real soon. Tomas Icenogle from the Instagram Flying Tandem is going to be on in a second, and he is prepared to defend his unpopular opinion that you're wrong. I don't know if specifically about that topic or if he just thinks you're wrong in general, but we're going to find out.
He's right. I don't know.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
You can't give up that fast, Bryan.
Yeah, you got to put up a little bit of a fight.
All right. The problem is I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm willing to just pretend.
It is all about fake it till you make it, my friend.
Dude, I've been faking. The make it part's not really happening, but the faking it, driving that one home.
Tomas.
Okay. So you guys can hear me?
I can hear you.
You're very delayed, just so you're aware.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on hotel Wi-Fi.
That's the best kind of Wi-Fi.
That's the tail wheel of Wi-Fi, I've heard.
So it starts.
I think what we're going to do is I'll give you like a minute or two apiece. You can state whatever points that you want to make. And then we'll do this like presidential debate style, and not the presidential debates where I say you have 2 minutes and you go on for 15 about the benefits of carb heat, which have nothing to do with tail wheels. We're going to stay on topic.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm a great moderator.
All right. I'm not a tail wheel pilot, but I am definitely a carb heat pilot.
I see what you just want to try to get to a topic you're going to be comfortable with. Like carb heat, I got that.
Oh, I'll argue about carb heat all day.
I know that way.
It's 108 degrees at 10 p.m. in Texas.
All right, Bryan, since you were the first to bring this opinion up, I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, I was not the first. It was the internet that brought it up.
Oh, no, but within the sphere of our podcast.
Oh, yeah. So, tail wheel pilots, no offense, Thomas, tail wheel pilots like to talk about, oh, get your tail wheel rating and make you a better pilot. Or, well, that's what they say. And my contention was, if something you only use when you're on the ground makes you a better pilot, then maybe it doesn't really make you a better pilot. Maybe it makes you better at taxiing to the fuel pumps or zigzagging down the runway because you can't see over your nose. But once you're off the ground, I don't know how the tail wheel helps you one bit. So I think using that as a bragging point about being a better pilot, it's kind of like bragging about, I don't know, using carb heat to make you a better pilot. Well, you didn't tell me you were bringing two people in.
Fun story.
Hi, Nicole.
Tomas brought it back up. That's his wife, Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hello.
Is she a carb heat pilot?
Oh, yeah.
She's
Yes.
Both. I will say this. I got my instrument rating 6 months ago, and everyone told me that would make me a better pilot too. Now, it's also a lie. Like, I am not, like, you are no safer with me in your left seat because I have instrument, unless we're in the clouds, or if with a tail wheel, unless we're on the ground, right? So I don't think it matters that I have these additional skills unless we're in the environment where the skills are required. Tail wheel, ground, taxiing, instrument, clouds. So anyway.
Okay, great. So I heard the argument about how could somebody possibly be better at flying an airplane off the ground if the only difference is on the ground. Was there anything else I missed?
He's a better pilot than you, I think he said. I think he also said something about instrument rating. Once he's got his instrument rating, it's made him such a more superior pilot than you, despite your own ratings.
So yeah, and your phone selection clearly, but also let me ask you. Okay, I want you to speak, and I talk too much. If the tail wheel people think that makes you a better pilot, and the instrument people think that makes you a better pilot, I want to know between tail wheel and instrument rating what makes you a better pilot, because I might be a better pilot than you.
Hey, you're assuming I don't have an instrument rating, and that's not true. I have a tail wheel and an instrument rating, which makes me even better than a normal instrument pilot.
I'm out. You're right. Whoa. So you have your instrument tail wheel sign off?
Yeah, exactly. It's instrument tail wheel means you can take off with the tail wheel without any visibility.
So you can slip your plane down an ILS all the way to the men's.
Let me ask you this, Brian. If you're so proud of having a tricycle gear aircraft, why is it that you hide it immediately after you take off? You instantly put it up.
You hold on.
Shots fired.
Just right across the bow with that one. You made him leave.
So,
he's back.
This is a gauge from, I don't know if it's a C-47 or something, but if you look, this is a combination flap and gear gauge, and this is a plane that has tail wheel, retractable tail wheel. So we have tail wheel pilots that also hide their tail wheels. So your argument's null and void. You're done.
No.
What's your next?
I love that this is an audio podcast, and I just held up a gauge for the camera. I could have just said it.
No, we all know.
I'm not arguing that all people are that way. I'm saying you are. You are obviously taking the stance that you're really proud of nose gear pilots, and you're saying that you don't need to be flying tail will be better. But I'm saying if you're so proud of it, why you hide it? I'm not saying why does everybody else hide it.
I will say this. With my nose wheel, I will never have a prop strike.
No, I'm not going to say that's true because I've definitely seen a nose gear pilot do a prop strike. You do a year of CFI work and you'll see a lot of that.
It's true. I bought a Grumman that had fixed gear and had a prop strike. So yeah, I'm losing and it makes me uncomfortable. So let me ask you this for real. How does that, because you're on the internet, you know pilots, like if you tell what real pilots, once you're off the ground, it doesn't matter, right? Yes or no?
I'll appease you. Once you're off the ground, they fly the same, but it's the skills on the ground that I think make you better off.
I will submit you are better at taxiing an aircraft than I am.
Hey, I'll also say, if you go fly a seaplane, which up in Minnesota, we fly a lot of seaplanes, the people who have tailwheel experience usually do a little better job flying seaplanes than a person who's tricycle only.
I don't have enough information to comment on that, so I'm just going to say point goes to Thomas.
I want to add something here. I know this isn't about me at all, but I'm going to anyways. You're talking about seaplanes and that, being a tail wheel makes you a better seaplane pilot. But Sully was flying a tricycle gear, and he, I think, is the man of landing on water.
Yes.
I think Sully is a better pilot and tricycle gear.
He is certainly proven that he can get it to the water. But let me ask you this: could he get it back off the water after that?
That's
we don't know. Probably.
He probably could have. No one gave him a chance. He would have done it.
Yeah.
If those geese weren't in the engine, absolutely he could have.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good argument.
All right. What else you got?
what about this? So you're going to Oshkosh, right? What are you going to go do at Oshkosh?
Laugh at tailwheel pilots.
Now, if you're anything like the rest of us, are you not going to go show up and look at all the airplanes?
I am going to look at all of the airplanes. Where are we going with this?
What airplanes do you enjoy looking at the most?
What the Cirruses, the Cessna 210s, huge fan of the 210s, the 172s, anything in the North 40 that's no.
You're telling me you don't like going to the Warbird area and going to look at those P-51?
No, I don't.
You got the Beech 18s, the Electras, the DC-3. Oh man, that guy comes in with that DC-3. That's really cool. And you have no dream of flying those beautiful, magnificent aircraft.
No, that guy who's coming in with the DC-3 this year, I'm told, is going to be escorted off the premises immediately.
But the B-29 is a tricycle gear.
Honestly, I'm not a warbird guy. My favorite thing is I've said this before. I love ugly airplanes, and so I go to home built.
There you go.
Oh, is that why you bought the
Can we cuss on this podcast?
I'm gonna allow it.
Sometimes.
No, I like to go to the. I obviously we're joking here. My favorite thing is to go to the home built, like the Velocities and anything that's weird. 2 years ago I was there. I guess it was 3 years ago because of COVID. And they have the double yak with the jet engine, which is cool, or the
Yak 110. Yeah.
The what's the deal with the Jack Links Waco?
Which, by the way, Yak 110 is the tail dragger. Go on.
Damn it.
It's not Yak 110. No, it's not. It's a tricycle gear. The Screaming Sasquatch is.
Yeah, but if it's two tail wheels combined, that's the tricycle.
That's a quadricycle. That's
it is.
That's just a car.
The nighttime air show, which you can't tell where the wheels are on those planes. That's my favorite. No, I don't know. I've ridden in a Pitts. I've ridden in an Extra. I've ridden in a DC-3. I've ridden in some tailwheel planes. I've never flown a tailwheel plane. But I obviously make the joke.
By the way, come to Minnesota. We'll go fly.
What do you fly?
We have a 185 is one airplane we fly, and a Husky, Aviat Husky. Ooh. Those are the two airplanes we fly. Hopefully by the end of the summer, we'll be flying a Pitt Special too.
Okay. Well, I would like to get my tailwheel rating, honestly, just to find out what it's all about. But I do find this sort of tailwheel bravado on the internet, which I always laugh at. Just anybody who has we're all pilots, and that's amazing. Like, that's the coolest fact ever. But then you're like, okay, we're in this niche group. How do we make ourselves better than these other people in this same awesome group? And it's like, it's the weirdest thing about aviation. But the tailwheel pilots, instrument rated pilots, commercial pilots, not so much. But it does seem like anytime I became a pilot and like, hey, I'm a pilot. And the first question was like, well, do you have your instrument rating? And I'm like, well, shit. I guess I suck. I don't know. Do you fly tailwheel? But like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of weird or whatever. But so the tailwheel one always resonated with me just because I'm assuming, I don't even know. Like, I've watched tailwheel pilots have to do the zigzag because you can't see. Like, that seems like an inconvenience. How is it better to be like, I'm driving, but I can't see anything?
Makes it easier to taxi drunk too, I think, because then it just looks like you're normally taxiing.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's totally normal. Like, nobody can argue. It's like, oh, he's doing what he normally does. It's a tailwheel. It doesn't matter how good you are. You just go back and forth.
Okay.
If you're not in center line, it's normal.
Now you're selling it to me. If I can fly tailwheel drunk and I look like I'm sober, I'm in.
Or just incompetent. You don't have to be drunk to be going back and forth.
That's how I taxi.
Now I know why.
The center line is for professionals.
That's fine.
But I don't want you to win this. Like, I don't really want you to be right though. So
well, that brings up an interesting point. Are we at a point where we want to try to see who is the winner of this debate?
No, because I feel like it's not me.
I have one more argument for tailwheel.
Okay, Nicole.
Right, let's hear Nicole.
We're going to allow it. I'm sorry that you're getting beat up on Bryan.
All the Midwesterners. You know how when it's really cold outside and you have a jacket, but you want to save it for in case you get even more cold? Like, you hold out on putting on your jacket because you're like, I'm even going to be colder at some point. It's going to feel even better. That's how flying a tailwheel is, because you can't see it when you're taxiing. Then when you can see when you're flying, it's so much better.
So you're torturing yourself, is what you're
interesting take.
I will concede that obviously you guys have a rating, so it clearly requires more skill. There's no, as far as I know, there's no nose wheel rating. Like Thomas, you don't have to be like, well, you learned in tail wheel, but you're gonna have to go get signed off to fly these tricycle airplanes. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sticking to my guns, but
the question is, do you still have that opinion? Are you convinced or are you conceding? There's a difference.
Oh, it's tough. Because I'm a stubborn ass. I think I get that it's an additional skill, but much like transitioning to my Comanche, not burning through my brakes is an additional skill. So I think the fact that the majority of planes are tricycle and people train in those, the tail wheel becomes a skill. I guess, okay, I will concede that the fact that I can't ground loop a Cessna 172. And so in order to go fly a Cub or land a Cub or taxi a Cub, I do have to have extra skills in my bag to prevent something that you guys can do that can wreck your plane that can never happen in my plane. So I can see that your plane's slightly more dangerous, and so it requires additional training.
I think that's as close as you're going to get to conceding.
I'm gonna turn the tables. Maddie, you're going to Oshkosh. This is your first one?
No.
Oh goodness,
no.
You go every year?
I've been to Oshkosh. Not every year. I went 2016, 18, 19, no 20, but 21.
Yeah, nobody went in 20, so don't feel bad about that.
I know, it was just a general like.
Could you imagine being the one guy who didn't get the message and you go land? I'm like, where the hell is everybody?
Where are the dots?
It's just a class Delta today.
I almost went just to go. And I was like, that's a lot of gas just to go.
Yeah.
So, Maddie, are you there all week?
Just about. I'll be driving in on Saturday, and
but you should drive down Fisk. You should drive down Fisk Avenue so you can at least do the Fisk approach.
I will try my best. I will try to convey to my dad what the heck that means.
What are your must see things or must do things?
Wow.
Bryan Turner, number one.
We're really glad that you asked.
Yep. Actually, Bryan is number 8. Sorry.
I'm number 8 on my list too. It makes sense.
Well, the first one I have is the night air show, of course, because that's incredible.
Well, you can't do that
first. The Warbird section. Sorry, Bryan, you will not be present for that. But the Warbird section is great. I was trying to get into the pilot proficiency clinics, but they're all booked up. So yeah, I'm gonna go to the Stoll area because I haven't been there in a while, and I want to go back over the seaplane base. Do you know?
Seaplane base is great.
The social that used to happen, like the dinner thing, is that happening this year?
I don't know about that. I just like to go to the seaplane base because it's so serene and quiet, and just it's such a pretty place.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier with somebody else too. That was one of the last time I went. I'm like, I hadn't been over there before. I'm like, this is awesome.
It is.
One of these days we're gonna fly into the seaplane base, but we kind of have to finish the seaplane first.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Helps.
Yeah. Otherwise, it becomes a sully.
Yes, it does.
Would not like to recreate that. Thank you.
So, Tomas and Nicole, are you two going to Oshkosh or not?
No, not here.
No. Yeah, I'm in training this Monday. I go to Salt Lake for another week. So unfortunately, I'm in training through Oshkosh. Otherwise, we were looking into it. It just didn't work.
Well, you're in good company not going. I'm not going either. So part of why we're doing this.
Well, we cannot go together. Actually, you can come down here. We cannot go together.
Sounds terrific.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, again, I appreciate the three of you being on tonight, as well as Madi and Trevor, I guess. Yeah, thanks again. Thanks for supporting our podcast and just being here with us and having a grand old time. So
absolutely, I love what you guys do. I think you guys are awesime. So
thanks.
One person likes what we do.
I think maybe it was Jim or someone. Like I walk every morning. I walk 5 miles, and so I'd been finishing up another podcast, and so I started listening to you guys, your podcast or whatever. So I'm a big I'm not a big podcast person, but I did this thing where I was like, I'm going to do 50 days before Oshkosh. I'm going to do 10,000 steps a day. So I get 500,000 steps.
Sure.
I'm 12,000 today. I did 22,862 steps. So
for you.
Very nice.
I'm 13,000 steps away from 500,000, and I'm going to get those 13,000 tomorrow. But in those walks that I literally have never exercised in my life. And I said, I'm going to start this, and I'm going to do it forever. But I was like, I need something, because otherwise it takes forever. And I was like, I found listening to podcasts makes it go by so fast. And so a few weeks back, I've switched over. I finished the one I was on, and now I'm listening to you guys. And so I think, I don't know, I'm more than music or anything else, just listening to people talk. So I really, really enjoy what you guys are doing. And I
appreciate it.
If there's anything I can do to light a fire or help it catch on, like, I really, really want you guys to be huge. You guys have such great charisma and like chemistry and stuff. So
we appreciate that. And it's funny you should mention that. Maddie has a shirt for you that she'd like you to wear.
And so she told me, she said it was like an iron on it. She goes, the logo kind of melted. And I was like, it's 111 here. Like, it's melted logos are exactly what I need. I will be more than happy to promote or anything I can do to help you guys, because I really, really think you guys are awesome, and I appreciate you having me on. So I enjoy what you do, and I if I can find a way to get more people to enjoy it, everyone needs to go walk and listen to your podcast.
There you go.
Promoting good health and our podcast at the same time.
If you would just name drop everybody all the time, those people would listen.
With all of the name drops we do of you, I don't think we have time for any other people. So
that's fine. That's all I'm listening for, is like, okay,
like at 14 minutes and 12 seconds, there's my name.
All right, I'm gonna keep walking. Maybe they'll say it again. Tomas, it was very, very nice to meet you.
Likewise. Yeah, it's been fun watching your videos, and now finally getting to challenge you one-on-one.
You win.
There's a feather in your cap. You beat Bryan Turner at
that's something he
battle of wits. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. We really appreciate it.
I'll have a good one, Maddie. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Take care.
Thanks, Nicole and Tomas.
Bye.
Well, our first ever Airventure Zoom In Extravaganza Spectacular is in the books.
Amazing.
It is always fun to hear from people that actually listen to this podcast for some reason, and just have cool conversations with them about what they've experienced in the past, what they're looking forward to. I'm just bummed I can't be there. So
too bad that Tomas and Bryan are not going to be able to meet up in Oshkosh. We'd love to see them duke it out even more.
I don't know. It was a spirited debate. I'm not sure how well that would go in person. I'm pretty sure that.
Who do you think would win?
Tomas.
Yeah, Tomas would win by sheer mustache power alone.
Mustache power, and I think that being a tailwheel pilot will probably make him a superior fighter too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, a little more right rudder.
Hannah's a tailwheel pilot. She's just
okay, ask her if
I hear her silent commentary.
being a tailwheel pilot, does that make her a superior pilot, or even maybe a superior street fighter at Oshkosh?
I don't think it makes you a superior pilot compared to like only nose wheel pilots, because I know a lot of people who only fly nose wheel who are way better pilots than I am. So I think it's all in how you approach your flying, but there are definitely things that tail wheel teaches you really well. And it's an experience that I think everyone should have.
Do you think that this gives you superior fighting skills?
My last comment on the tail wheel Street Fighter reference, I think that just having better, stick and rudder skills, having fast feet probably would help you in a street fight. So I'm going to go Tomas in the Airventure street fight.
I'm going to go with high speed, low drag. Cirrus.
Well, if things get bad, he just pulls the chute and off he goes. So,
yes.
Well, at any rate, Madi, enjoy your trip to Oshkosh. I know you're excited to get out there. We're excited to have you out there representing the podcast and meeting all of our peeps.
I'm excited to go do all the things.
Next year.
Yeah, next year we'll have a booth.
Hey, Jim, what's on the next episode?
I'm really glad you asked, Trevor. Maddie doesn't know it yet, but Maddie's going to be put on the spot next episode to tell us about all of her Oshkosh adventures. Not only that, but we're going to task her with taking some kind of recording device and just recording random people at Oshkosh for future guest segments.
Thanks so much in advance, guys.
Maddie on the taxiway. There we go.
I'm so glad that I already am one step ahead of you, and I already have plans to do that. So,
so Jim, our next episode is Maddie on the taxiway.
Maddie on the taxiway. It's going to be just Maddie and one of those flag people going, "Ma'am, you can't stand here." No, Maddie, seriously, we're going to really need you to move.
Flight like friends.
Hey, Maddie, have fun at Oshkosh.
Thanks, Trevor.
We will be with you in spirit.
I will bring you guys around in spirit so you can see all the cool planes and stuff.
You're gonna have our spirits on your shoulders.
Okay, but who's the angel and who's the devil?
We know the answer to this question already. Nope, you already know.
I already know.
Yeah.
And I will let you guys know if I pass my multi-commercial.
Yes, please do.
No, not if, when you pass your multi-commercial. You got this. Yep.
All right, boys. Until next time. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Flight 536, contact Minneapolis Center 132.35 today.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Flying Midwest podcast. Until next time, podcast service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Good day.
Here are the bloopers.
Ta-da! We will make that work.
Or not. I don't know. We'll see. So as we just alluded to, this episode is going to be you, our fans, our listeners, zooming in, and what are you laughing at?
All three of them.
Conviction.
What?
The conviction. This episode is about you.
Now, because today's episode... Oh.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry. Now, this episode...
Are you apologizing to Maddie? Because I feel like you should be.
I just did. What do you want from me?
I didn't hear it.
I also didn't hear it. It doesn't count. All right. Sorry.
Sorry.
As of the recording of this, the Fisk arrival has been busy. More news and weather at 10.
Back to you, Jim.
Back to you. That is the news. The Fisk arrival's busy. The end.
Y-I-S. Yikes.
Did you spell yikes and then say yikes?
And you can text deduct your trip.
I can what?
Do you say
tax deduct?
Oh, I thought you said.
Oh my gosh.
What did you think he said, Maddie?
I don't know.
I thought he said text a duck. I'm like, what on earth are you talking about?
Yeah, I heard text in there. I'm like, I was a little lost, but yeah.
Text a duck your trip.
Okay.
So what do we got, Maddie?
I don't know. Oh my gosh, we've never been left unsupervised. I'm just like, wow, this is a lot of responsibility. Usually we always
it's almost like when your parents go away for a week and like the first 2 days you're like, what do I do? Like there's so much to do, the world's my oyster. What do I do?
Eat
and you end up
pizza
not doing
rolls in the
anything.
basement.
Yeah, right?
Oh my god, we're talking about uniforms. Asking for someone's phone number, and I just typed out, "Do you have so and so's uniforms?" Why would I ask that question?
Will this be in the bloopers reel?
Oh,
sure
absolutely,
yeah.
It will be
for sure.
This man wanted so hard not to touch me that instead of like doing like finger guns or something normal, he decides to go, yep, we're just gonna leave room for Jesus. Like
now you're a CFI, MEI, double I.
I've got all the I's.
Yeah, EIEIO.
He's in his old age. He's getting a little cranky.
He is.
Oh yeah,
he is.
So cranky.
Just like Trevor. Sorry, I haven't taken a shot at you once tonight. So
you're not wrong.
No,
you're not wrong.
No, Trevor is the dairy definition of ornery.
I'm kind of sad that Bryan and Tomas aren't not. Okay, I've had some beers, okay?
Have another one. That'll level you off.
He never accepted my friend request, so I don't think we're friends.
I've been friends with him for like 2 years.
I asked him not to. I had a favor he owed me.
Yep, we're just gonna leave room for Jesus.